Hi guys, I'm here doing Geek Girl Does Tarot's hashtag 20 tarot questions, and I kind of wanted it to be a little bit shorter if I can, so I'm just going to dive into it. Now, I have not read through or seen all of the questions because I wanted to kind of answer them honestly without influence from anyone else. So like I watched a couple and I watched like the first like 5 or so, and then I'm like, okay, wait, let me stop so I can come in here fresh, and then I'll continue watching everybody's videos. So number 1, what was your first tarot deck? And since I did watch a few of those, I came prepared. This was my first tarot deck. I talked about it quite a few times already. Just this little square. Some people call it the Tarot Nova, I believe, but it is like the complete tarot kit. It's just a little kit. Mine came with a palmistry book and this this tarot set, and I feel like my book was bigger. I feel like it was, but maybe I'm wrong. But I got that back in 96-ish, somewhere around there. 96, 97, maybe 96, 97, somewhere around there. 2, what made you stick with it? When I was younger, it's something that intrigued me. It like called to me. Everything about it was like, But I kind of let a lot of things get in the way, and I just wasn't serious about it, and I kind of let it fall away. But when I got older and I picked it back up again, and I opened myself back up again, I found it to be something that felt so natural and so much like home that I stuck with it. The more I dove into myself, the more it just felt right. And then, you know, I mentioned that before. After doing it for a few years, I realized that my grandfather read cards, and his mother read cards, and her mother read cards, and goodness knows how further up the line that goes, you know? So it also made me feel like I had an extra tie to my lineage. 3, how often do you read? I would say it's very rare for me to go more than a day or so without reading. I basically do it every single day. I post on Instagram. I used to post every day. I've been a little slacking. But I post a lot on there of my reads, my daily reads, general reads, my own spreads. And I think just about every day I try to at least draw 1 card. I have them around my house. I have them on my vanity and my work desk and my spiritual working desk, as well as within my altar and on top of my altar. Number 4, do you read for yourself? I do. I feel like if you come at the cards with an open mind and with, how do I say that? The willingness to be honest with yourself for the good and the bad, because sometimes acknowledging the good is just as hard, if not harder, than acknowledging the bad things about ourselves. I feel like if you have an open mind and you're willing to be honest with yourself and you're willing to dive into your own psyche, then I feel like you can read for yourself. That's how I started, you know? I wanted to pull certain things out. I wanted to go deeper. I wanted to sort of unravel this like tangled mess I had created. And I feel like slowly I'm just plucking away at all of these knots, and yeah, I read for myself. 5, do you read reversals? I do, sort of. While I don't always leave them turned reversed, I still read a card by the energy, not really about which way it's turned, if that makes sense. 6, what is your favorite and least favorite card? Favorite card, well, ultimate favorite, obviously, is the Tower. I love a good tower, y'all. But oh my gosh, I have so many favorites. Queen of Cups is something that I always look for. Two of Swords is something that I always look for. I'm really intent on the High Priestess. Has to be good. The Three of Cups I usually look for. Sometimes the Star. I really like a good star because, I don't know, I just really like a good star. Least favorite, I don't really have a least favorite card. Like, there's not a card that comes up that I'm like, ugh. Like, there's just not. Now, that's not saying there are not some cards artwork-wise that I don't like. I got plenty of those. But that's not really the question. So, a least favorite card, I don't really have one. I can honestly say I do not have one. What is your favorite spread? I love spreads. I know there is not a fly in here. Okay, I think it's gone. I love spreads. I love all the spreads. I love trying new spreads. As far as like a favorite, I like a good, oh my gosh, it goes by so many names, but it's like basically like a Celtic cross. About, what is it, like a 10, 11 card spread that kind of encompasses everything. When I read for somebody else, a lot of the times, and they're just like, I just want an all-around reading, like, I don't really know, can you read for me? I will usually use that spread simply because I feel like it encompasses their energy as a whole. Like, it kind of gives what's the main energy around them. The cross, which is, I kind of consider it to be like, what is this main energy coming against or coming with? It goes the recent past, it goes like a little bit in the future, it goes through the self, through the environment around you. Like, it kind of encompasses the whole thing. So that's kind of my go-to for initial readings for people, I guess I would say, are like, I've never done this before, I don't know what I want, I just want to be read. I will usually do those. Just because I feel like it's a good, oh, please, sorry. So I feel like it is a good place to get a full scope, I guess. So that's kind of, I guess if I have to say a favorite spread, that would be it. 8, how do you care for your deck? I usually care for my decks by putting them with crystals sometimes. I do cleanse my decks. I smudge in and around my cards. I do that almost every time that I use them. Like I said, crystals, they're always around crystals. They're always safely tucked in here, down here, in my altar space, or on my little desk that I have here, or mostly in sacred spaces, right? So I am pretty particular. I do care a lot for my cards. Number 9, what do you get asked the most? About my cards in general, where did you get that? That's kind of like the main questions that I get. Or like, where do I even find this? It's usually about like the deck itself. As a most asked question about reading, it would probably be just a simple like, can you read me? Like, in that shock and awe, like, is it possible for you to do this? But I guess that's like the basic main questions that I get. Like, I don't get like a particular, can you tell me my love life? Can you see the future? I don't get that. I really don't. So it would mostly be that shock and awe, like, can it be possible that you could read me? That would be the most, aside from like deck questions of like, where did you get that? Number 10. What would a deck made by you look like? I would, well, okay. So if I had an artist to sit with me and help me, because like, I don't know, like I don't feel capable of putting these things to paper myself. I don't know, maybe if I tried I could, you know, like a little bit of confidence, you can do anything. But if I had an artist to like really sit and help me, because I do love that digital art look, and I know all of nothing about digital art. I can manipulate the shit out of some pictures, take stuff out, put stuff in of like drawings and art and clip art. So if I had to gather the artwork and then like manipulate it into a tarot deck, I feel like I could accomplish this. But in order to start from scratch and do like this beautiful digital art, I know nothing. But if I had an artist that did, I would probably create a very Louisiana steeped deck. Why? Because it's my culture. And there is nothing like it. The Delta Enduring Tarot was similar. It did have those vibes a bit. But it was still very Creole versus Cajun. It's just not the same. It's just not the same. I would love to get my hands on those, but they're like at $200 right now. I'm like, thank you, but no thank you. But at the same time, like, I still feel like it could be more Cajun. There's so much folklore. There's so much mysticism in the Cajun culture that's kind of like overlooked on a bigger scale, that I just feel like I would love to put a deck together that had a Cajun feel, you know, that swamp magic feel, you know. Anyway, I can go on about that forever. Anyway, ask the most, 11. What is the weirdest thing you've ever been asked? You know, I don't think I've ever had a really weird question in regards to my tarot. No, I don't think I have. Like, I've never gotten strange questions. Like, I've always had pretty chill people that I read for. So, I guess pass. What is your biggest pet peeve in tarot? Can I pass at this one too? I don't know. I guess my biggest pet peeve would probably be like the disrespect to the art of tarot. Yeah, so I feel like a disregard or a disrespect of the tarot is kind of a big pet peeve of mine. 13, do you have any bad tarot habits? You mean aside from not taking my own advice? You mean aside from asking the same question and getting the same answer and still not doing what I need to do about it? That's more of like a personal thing, right? Tarot bad habits. Like, is there a bad habit in tarot? I don't think I have a bad tarot habit. I mean, I have a bad habit of spending all my money on tarot. I don't know. I don't think so. Because I don't really feel like there's a wrong way to do it, you know? I mean, I literally just said my pet peeve was like not respecting it, but I mean, you do what you want at the end of the day, I guess. I don't know. 14. Do you get hate from skeptics or religious folk? I have. I've gotten rudeness and disgust and like mock fear, I feel. But it's very rare. I will have to say that. It is very rare. The people who I thought I would get the most hate from have been super chill. People who I thought would have an issue with it don't. Even some of my like most nervous / terrified / Catholic friends have been super open. So although I feared that I would get the "I'm gonna pray for you, Shy, that's terrible," I didn't get that. I got the "Can you read me though?" You know? So I've been very surprised. I'll kind of put it to you that way. Especially recently. Anyway. 15. 12 minutes, not bad. Okay. Do you have any readings you are proud of? I'm proud of all my readings. Like, I know that sounds like, really? But like, no. Like, I love to read tarot. I love to connect with people. I love to offer this piece of myself. And I genuinely love the connection, and I love to discuss things with people, and I love to talk things out with people and help in any way, shape, or form I can, because that's like ultimately what the tarot is for me, is a catalyst to help in a way that I feel like I can. And so I'm usually pretty proud of all my readings. I don't think, knock on wood, twice, I don't think I've ever had a terrible reading. I've had readings where I was super nervous. Readings that made me a little uncomfortable. Yeah, I've had those. But at the end of the day, like, I feel like any reading is a reading to be proud of because I took the time to do it, you know? Yeah, I'll just go with that. 16, has reading changed your perspective? 155%. Yes. Yes, it most definitely has. It has changed the perception I have of myself. It has changed the perception that I have of others. And it has changed the perception that I have of the entire space and world that I live in. It has opened my eyes. It has opened doors for me. It has brought me back to how I felt as a kid. It has brought the wisdom to understand things that have always kind of come into my view. So yes, tarot is a big deal for me. Do you prepare a space or ritual before reading? Yes, I do. I always try to have crystals with me. I always try to smudge in any way, shape, or form that I can. So if I can't burn, I will bring my spray, or I will sit and create a light around my space. Like, I will always cleanse my space before I start a reading. That's kind of like my main my main thing. 18, how do you feel about the tarot community? I love my tarot community. I love my tarot community on YouTube and on Instagram. I love my tarot community, although I feel like it is a small one. I'm a part of like 2 groups on Facebook because I'm not a huge Facebook fan, but I love my tarot community. I really do. As a whole, I feel like it's important. I feel like you can find answers to all your questions. Someone is always willing to help, and I love that. The sharing of ideas is important, I think. 19, do you have any advice for your younger self? Ask questions. Just ask questions all the time. And I ask a lot of questions, so that's really saying stuff. Like, I feel like for my younger self, especially when it comes to the tarot and all that it encompasses, I would say don't hold these questions back. Don't be scared to ask these questions. Don't be scared to have these conversations with people, because you never know what you could find out. And I wish I could go back. There's so many people that I would talk to that I just can't anymore because they're no longer here. And it's sad and it's upsetting and you can't go back, but ask more questions. 20. Do you have any advice for novices? Ask questions. Don't be scared to ask a question. Don't be scared to start a conversation with someone. All they can say is no. All they can say is, I don't want to talk about that. All they can say is, you're doing the devil's work. At the end of the day, that shouldn't sway you from asking the question. You just know that that's not the person that you need to be talking to, and you just move along. But ask questions. Don't hide. Do not hide away, because that's how you stifle your learning. Read what you can. Learn what you can. And then throw it away and just feel the cards. Feel your energy through them. Feel other people's energy. Don't get so stuck on what you're supposed to do. Don't get so stuck on what the books say and what other people say. Card reading is intimate. It's personal. And I feel like so many people get caught up in what you should and shouldn't do and how you can and can't read. Harsh shit. Throw that out the window. You read like you read. If everybody read the same, then what would be the point, right? What would be the point? So learn your cards, steep yourself in the history and the tradition, and then feel your way to your own way of reading. I feel like that's so important. Ask questions, be yourself, interpret the way you feel. That's the advice I have. Thank you for listening to me babble on a bit. I hope you enjoyed this 20 tarot question tag. I will definitely leave Geek Girl Does Tarot's original video down here, as well as how to get in touch with me, Instagram, all that good stuff. Excuse me. So thank you again for watching. If you feel so inclined, give my video a like and subscribe and come back and see me, because I try to do videos at least once a week. So sometimes more. And I will be back soon. And thank you for watching again. Bye, guys.